Let's make sure to update, and we could of course go crazy designing the homepage, but I want to show you how to create those additional pages on our site. You can of course edit the content in here, but I want to show you how to create even more sections, and then I'm pretty sure we'll figure out how to bring those back to the homepage if we want to do that later. So let's scroll up to the top, and we're just going to click on one of our additional pages, like About. All right. So as promised, we're going to work on our pages in a logical workflow, and About has nothing on it. So let's go ahead and add some About content and learn some new Elementor skills. So let's start by showing you how to set up a hero image with some text in it that's offset with a white background. So it kind of looks like someone's either saying something or thinking it, or it's just like a label for that image. So to begin, let's click Edit Page. And now we're going to edit with Elementor. All right, and we're going to click Add New Section. We're going to give it just one column, and this is just going to be a text editor. All right, very cool. I'm going to paste in some text I already wrote here about my beliefs on blogging and family and how they go together. Now we need a background image for our text, so let's click on the settings for the entire column and then Style. For background type, we want classic, so we get the image and click the plus sign and then click Select Files. And I'm going to upload an image that my dad and I took at the Taj Mahal. Alright, I'll grab this image called Greg Narayan Email Marketing, just double click it to open. And then once it uploads, we're going to insert media. There we go. Alright, so just like the video background, we're going to go to Layout and we're going to stretch that image and the whole section. Now because it's an image, we also need to go to Style, and we need to tell it that the size of it shouldn't just be the default size, it needs to be the cover, which actually will cover the entire space, and it'll make your image show like everything that's inside the image. We can also go to Repeat, No Repeat, so the image doesn't show up more than once. And in Layout, of course, we can go to Height, which is Fit to Screen. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you arguably the best way to move a piece of text on top of an image within WordPress, because you can move it in any direction if you know how to use this technique. We want to click on the column settings right here, and then we want to go to Advanced, and now we're going to give some margin to this text, but instead of pixels we want %, and by giving it a percentage we'll actually make it a percentage of the screen size, so that this text should move to the right location, whether on a desktop, tablet, mobile, what have you. It'll adjust to the amount of percents that we tell it to adjust. We're also going to unlink the values because we want to give it a different margin for a lot of these. And let's start by giving it 25% distance from the top of the screen, 10% distance from the right of the screen, 0 distance from the bottom of the screen, and then 60% margin from the left of the screen. And we can see that last one made it jump over here and condense perfectly. So of course, play around with those values depending on where you want your text to be floating on top of the image. The next thing we can do is pretty cool. We can just click on top of the text editor, and we're going to go to Advanced and give this a background color. So we can open up Background, and we can give it a classic background and a color which is just white. Alright, now I'm not at all sure why part of that text got bigger than the rest of it, so let's dig into that. Let's click on the text editor and click Content and go to the Text tab. We can see somehow a little span found its way in here. So we want to delete any funny styling in the form of a span on top of the text. Perfect, and now we can just click Style, and in the Style tab is where we want to make it bigger. So we can make our text a little bit bigger. Alright, maybe 3 lines is enough, and then we can center it. Pretty cool, and we can also click Advanced, so we can give it just a touch of padding on the left and right sides so that the words aren't flush up against the border. So let's unlink our padding section, and we're just going to give it 2 pixels on the right and 2 pixels on the left. Alright, that looks great to me. I don't know what you think. Hope you like it. And we can just update it. Next, I'm going to show you how to create a counter and a progress bar beneath this hero image on the About page. It's a great way to show progress you've made on any project, or just give a visual piece of data that describes you. So we're going to click Add New Section. We're going to get 2 columns, and then we're just going to start drag and dropping. So let's go to our Rubik's Cube. We can scroll down, and we're going to get some fun features beneath here we haven't used yet. We're going to drag in the progress bar to the right, and we're going to go to the Rubik's Cube, and we're going to drag in another progress bar. Or instead of dragging it in, something cool you can do is just duplicate it. So we can click on the progress bar, And then in the pencil area, just hover on the blue pencil and click duplicate and duplicate. Now in our left column, let's go to the Rubik's Cube and I want to add an icon list. All right, very good. And back to the Rubik's Cube and we're going to add a counter. All right, you probably found it quicker than I did. And there's our counter. All right, very cool. We're just going to click on the settings for this entire section and advanced and give it a little bit more spacing in the form of padding. I think 40 should be good. Gotta take advantage of that white space. And now you can start editing to your heart's content. So let's start with the easy ones, which are just the icon lists. So we can click on one of them to expand it, and then we can change the text. I'm a blogger, check. And we can click on the second one and, you know, just talk about what you do, like you're a restaurant manager, or you're a sculptor, or a painter, or maybe you're a fitness coach, or a motivational coach, or a financier, whatever you are. Go ahead and tell people right here. And YouTuber. All right, and going along with the theme of that last one, I'm gonna put the number of subscribers we have here. You guys are all amazing. Without you, I couldn't do what I do. And we'll change the icon for each of those. So icon, just want that check mark again, because I'm not sure what the other icons would really mean, although I'm sure we could think of something that would have meaning for the different icons. So up to you. There's all sorts of social media icons too. And I'll just go to style and center this section. So the last check mark was YouTubers. So following that, I'm gonna give a shout out to all our subscribers here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around over the years and helping out with my new videos. Seriously, I do it for you guys and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you. Love hearing from you, even if you've been hiding out for months on end, like me. So that counting number here is going to be like a nice 27,000 even, although I think we might have broken it by now. And that's definitely a cool number, which is just subscribers. So right over that. Now we can change up our progress bars on the right. So I'm just going to go with what I spend my time doing here, which is answering questions. And that's 50% of the day. And then I think we can go to style. We can also make the title style a little bit bigger. All right, so something like 20 should be perfect. And then we're gonna click inside and we're gonna just go back to content and get rid of the inner text. All right, so I really like how that looked, so I'm actually gonna delete the other two progress bars and then just copy this one again. And this one's just gonna say WordPressing. And it's just gonna be 25%, so 25. And this last one is gonna be playing with kittens, which is another 25% of my day. Go figure. All right, so 25 is good. We're gonna update and this section is done. Next, we'll see how to create a floating 3 images across the screen. All right, so we'll start by clicking add new section. And of course, 3 columns here. And each one of those columns will contain an image. So click on our Rubik's Cube and we're gonna pull in 3 different images. All right, so image, image, and image. Now to get those images, just click on top of them and then click choose your image, upload files, select files, and we ideally want 3 images with the same dimension. So in our case, that's gonna be 2:1 width to height. It's just these 3 images right here, and I'm just gonna click and then command click and open. All right, so the dimensions can be whatever you want as long as they're the same throughout the images, and you can also edit and crop images within WordPress. If you upload an image and you really don't want to edit it outside of WordPress, you can just click on it and then click this edit image link right here. And then you can edit the media file itself. You just need to click on it and hold to crop, or you can change the aspect ratio and then crop it. Really easy and pretty fun. All right, in our case, I'm just gonna grab this first one of the blogger. Second image, choose image, that's Angel and I unveil. Third image, choose image, and kittens. Perfect. So how do we make these images stretch across the full screen? Well, we go back to the settings for the entire section. We're gonna stretch this section. We're gonna say content width be full width, and we're gonna say columns gap no gap. And we're done. And we can update. Alright, next I'll show you how to add an Instagram widget to your website. So let's click add new section and give it 2 columns, and we're going to put Instagram on the right. We can do a search for Instagram. There she is, and we can just pull it in on the right. And now we're going to start by getting rid of the title, and we're going to choose the images style of 3 columns. And there's some other cool settings you can play around with here, like what the button text says. But for now, we just want to make sure it's not Adidas, so it's not a messy Instagram. It's just us, which is Naragai. And we're going to give it a number of images to show, which matches with the images style we picked. Alright, pretty cool. We can also change the link to, so it goes to the Instagram image itself, or your profile, or a custom link. And we just want to add in a heading because we got rid of it. So let's click on the Rubik's Cube and then just drag in a heading. Alright, we're just going to call this one Instagram, and we can go to center and style, text color black, and then typography, we're going to want to make the size bigger, like 40, and then that'll be perfect. Alright, so we'll update that. It's done. And now we're just going to add some quotation marks on the left so it looks like we're all worldly and knowledgeable. Those are just text editors. So we just put one in there. And our first quote is by a cool guy named Lao Tzu. So we can just paste it in. And to make a quote, you just got to put quotes around your text and say who it's by. Then highlight the whole thing and just click on the block quote button. Boom, and done. We can click style, and we can actually make it bigger by going to typography, of course, and make it nice and large. We just have to change the line height then so that it's not too wide. All right, once we have one good quote, we can hover on the pencil and just replicate it and replicate it. All right, now we can enter in more quotes. So the second quote is buy the ticket, book the trip. And I believe Casey Neistat said that. So it's pretty cool. We'll give him credit for it. He might have said that, you know, in a cooler way, but it was something like that. A third quote, which is just be one with it, and it will be one with you. And that's my favorite proverb of all time. Proverb, because it says that if you want to become a part of something or something new, then the first step is just to make yourself a part of it and adopt its practices into what you are, and then the rest will fall into place and it will open its doors hopefully to you. Alright, so with that done, we just need to add some padding to each of these sections. So that's pretty easy. We just go up to the section and click on the settings for the whole section, go to advanced, and let's give it 40 all around, and it'll be nicely spaced. Now let's just update, and we're done with your about page. Great job. So when we refresh our about page, we see it looks really cool. We have the hero image, then we have our progress right here, and the 3 images, and then we have Instagram and quotes. Now you might be wondering what happened to our footer, and really nothing. We just have the default footer by Ocean WP and Nick. And when we're finally done making our pages, we'll add a really stylish footer.